Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back once again. I decided to go live tonight. So I just wanted to talk about health and fitness and what's very important to not only myself but to a lot of men. Um, so what I want to talk about with fitness is it's very important that we all must stay active, whether it's working out, walking, you getting up, going and running errands and stuff like that. As long as you're staying active, that's very good. I believe everyone should, before they get into health or get into going to the gym or stuff like that, I would advise you do a lot of research. There's so much stuff out here that's selling you things about carbs and no carbs and so many diets. You have to understand that this type of industry is about money also. It's for to recruit those who have a lack of knowledge about fitness and knowing how to eat. What I would advise everyone to do is go get a dietitian, someone who's educated, who's trained in that field to teach you about how to diet. Most of people's diets are coming based off what they heard and what they feel. Each and every one you should have go to a dietitian so they can give you the breakdown of what you should eat and what you should not eat. What is your goals? Are you here to lose weight? Are you here to put on mass? When I talk about fitness, are you here to put on weight? So when I say put on weight, I'm talking about muscle weight, which we back in the day, we would call it mass, adding more size to you. Or if you want to lose weight, where now your body show more definition and cuts. So when I first started out working out, was back, wow, almost, now I'm going to give away my age. Like, I'm 54. I started working out when I was like roughly around 16. I first got into it. I wasn't really that serious about it. But when I really got serious was about when I was going on set around 17 towards 18. And I used to go to a gym called Fifth Avenue Gym, which was actually on Fifth Avenue and 15th Street in Brooklyn, New York. And I would either take the R train, get off at 9th Street, and I would walk to 15th Street, or I could take the F train and get off at 15th Street, and then I would walk over to Fifth Avenue. And the gym was right down in the basement. And at that time, I remember me and Eddie used to go work out there to the gym. And at that time, the membership cost was $30, and I was 17 years old. And it's kind of funny now. I go to LA Fitness, I'm paying $49 a month, which is actually $19 more than what I paid when I was 17 at the time. So when I was in it, I was going 6 days a week. And one thing that I realized as I was going, there was a lot of elders there that I could watch. During that time, you had the Arnold Schwarzeneggers and you had the Sergio Olivias and the Lee Haney's, and you had different magazines like Joe Wilder products. So I was taking um, weight gainer products by Nature's Best. I was taking amino acids. I would go to GNC when I was working at Midtown, Lower Manhattan, right there on there on Wall Street, and I was working right on William Street. And we used to have a Jenny C right like a block down. I would go in there and get brown rice. I would go in there and get vitamins. And I was heavy into it at the time. I was working out 6 days a week. I was there. I was bench pressing over 300 pounds. And I was working out hard. So that was my way to focus and stay out of trouble, focus on school, and focus on graduating. So I was going 6 days a week at that time, up to roughly when I had my first shot at 27. But I was working out hard 6 days a week. And man, I must have been around roughly around 240, 250 at the time. And I was working out with free weights at that time, free weights, which was iron. Um, and during that time, as I was doing the free weights, yes, I was putting on a lot of muscle mass and stuff of that nature. And I felt different back then than I feel now. Now going to LA Fitness and stuff like that. A lot of gyms today are some place like Planet Fitness or Crunch Fitness or LA Fitness or gyms that charge very low monthly price, like Planet Fitness. Sometimes it's a hangout spot. And I remember taking off years because I had did it for so long. You're talking about over a 10-year span. I did it for so long to the point where I was I had lost passion for it, and I stopped for a long time until recently, like about 2 years ago. I had took my car to Meineke, which is like 10 minutes from my house, and at the time I could hardly walk because here in Pennsylvania, just driving so much is different than New York. Like when I was growing up in Albany Projects in Brooklyn, the bodegas was right across the street from us. We had Pepe and we had different stores. So there was a bodega like every other block. So when you New York, especially if you live in Brooklyn or Manhattan, depending on where you live at, you don't need a car because you got public transportation. Or I would take the A train, take the 3 train, take the 2 train, take the 4 train, take the C train. So the J train there's always a way of getting around the city. So at that time, um, I was dedicated to it, and it meant a lot to me. So fast forward here in Pennsylvania, as I took my car to Meineke, it was so hard for me to walk there. And I realized that your body changed over the years. Yes, weightlifting and weight training back there during that time was a sport for me. And I was heavily into it. But as I get older now, about last year I discovered having arthritis because my back had pretty much gave out on me, and I could barely walk. And I remember getting inside my car, I would have to pick up my left leg and put it inside the car. And I went out for a month until I went to a sports doctor and had some X-rays. I said, "Oh, Mr. Smith, you have slight arthritis." And prior to that, I was discovered to have diabetes, like around the age of 54, say around 52 years old, 51 going on 52. And I caught it late in my life. My mother, who died from diabetes in 2009, she had it for a long. She had type 1. Um, my dad, who just died recently, this past August from diabetic complication, he had type 1. So I caught it late in life. So what I wanted to say was what's important is to take care of yourself. Don't deprive yourself. Eat in moderation. Um, I'm not here to tell you to cut out carbs. I'm not here to tell you to add more protein. No. When I was young, I did all that type of stuff. And when I was young, we wasn't talking about cutting out carbs because carbs help produce and burn, create energy. So that was over 35, 40 years ago. That wasn't so. It all depends on what you ate and how you worked out. Nowadays, there's so much videos and opinions of what you should do and what you should not do. So, for me, what's important is that you eat in moderation. Don't deprive yourself. Because a lot of times when you deprive yourself, what happens is that would increase that desire, that urge. That's what lust is. Lust is a feeling that we all have. And a lot of times we must be able to identify what that lust or what that feeling is. If we try to deny that feeling or try to deny that lust, that can increase our desire to even want it more and more and more to the point you could go into some sort of a slight depression. So I say eat in moderation. I say if you're going to exercise, do it for you. You as a man, you should be doing it for you, not women. It should always be about you and how you feel in your outlook and your laws and principles as a man. and what you stand for and how you move. You shouldn't be going to the gym to try to impress women or get women, because what happens when you stop going to the gym and your body change? Will that woman be around? No, you should be doing it for you, and that's what's important. So that's one aspect. The other part is you should understand why you're going to the gym. Are you going to the gym to do cardio? So watch videos, get magazine, get books. When I was coming along, when I started out, was yeah, there were men in the gym at Fifth Avenue gym that you could watch, but the main thing was there was magazines during the time when I was coming out. There wasn't no YouTube, so there was magazines you had to read, and there was pointers on how to work out, how to eat, how to hit each muscle. If you're doing your biceps curls with the barbell, dumbbell curls, hammer curls. If you wanted to peak your bicep, you do something they call concentration curl, or you do the 21, where you lift at a certain point 7 times each. That's called a 21. If you were doing your chest, you would do flat bench, incline, which worked the top part of your chest, bench press, which works the middle part of the pectorals, and then you had decline, which worked the bottom part. Then we would do what they call flies with the dumbbells. Right, that will put the crease in your chest. Then we would do you could do pullovers. Um, so there were different exercises that I was doing that was hitting the muscles. And then when I was working out, there was a schedule. I would do chest and back on Monday. On Tuesday, I would do arms, bicep, tricep, shoulders, right? Stomach each day. Then on Wednesday, do legs. Thursday, I would what I did on what I did on Monday, I would do on Thursday. What I did on Tuesday, I would do on Friday, and what I did on Wednesday, I would do on Saturday. So I would hit the body parts 2 times a week. On Monday, I would go heavy. On Thursday, I would go for reps. For Tuesday, which was Friday, Tuesday I would go heavy. Friday I would go reps for the arms. Wednesday I go heavy on the legs, and on Saturday I go reps for the legs. So I would hit the body part twice a week within 6 days. And I was taking a lot of vitamins, amino acids. I would get vitamins from the variety store that used to come in the back with ginseng, your henbei, and all that. I was taking Nature's Best weight gainer protein drink. Oh man. So I was doing a lot of that. I was eating brown rice, chicken breast with no seasoning on it. So I was heavily into it. But as I got older now, and that's called responsibilities, I don't work out like I used to. I go 3 days a week. However, when you look at me, it's like I did never skip a beat. I probably weigh like I'm at 234. And I said I hit it like about 250 at that time. So I'm at 234. But I didn't skip a beat at all, if you see me. So what I'm here to say is that I'm here to inspire. And for a lot of black men, it's very important that one, you take care of your health. Because as men, we age faster than women in terms from a physical point of view, doing the physical labor that we do as men. That's important. The other part is that if any of you men out there that have diabetes, whether you black or white, Asian, whatever, if you have diabetes, you should be going to a diabetic doctor, not your regular doctor. You should be going to a diabetic doctor, which is a specialist that works, and that's what they focus on. They work, and that's what they focus on as far as diabetes. I wear a device on my arm called Dexcom, which is this right here. This is the device. The 2 apps on my phone, and it's called Dexcom. This help monitor your glucose level. I have it set off. If it goes above 250, it sets off an alarm on my phone and lets me know that I'm over a certain amount. So I have a diabetic doctor. Another thing that you should have is a cardiovascular doctor. Um, and I have a diabetic doctor for my diabetes, and at one point my right foot had somewhat gave out on me. I mean, I had no feeling in it, and I couldn't walk for a few minutes. So then I went to the foot doctor. She tries to add neuropathy, which is there's a tingling and numbness and sometimes a burning on your fingertips or your toes or your foot under your feet. So when I went to the cardiovascular doctor, they ran extensive tests on me. No, I didn't have neuropathy, thank God. Which sometimes it comes from a lack of blood circulation. A lot of time when you men out there are having cramps, that's two things. That can be muscle spasm, but that's cramps is another sign of what? Lack of circulation. So that's important. So I have a diabetic doctor, I have a cardiovascular doctor, I have a foot doctor. Why? Because diabetes starts in the foot. So it's very important that when I go to the doctor, they're testing my foot for any feeling in my foot. Do I have any feeling in my foot? Any nerve damage? Or because diabetes starts in the feet and works its way up. And it can do a lot of damage to your nervous system. Um, it can also that was also one of the contributing factors to my mother for her nervous breakdowns and all that because it was damaging her nervous system at the time. So I have a diabetic doctor, not my regular doctor. Your regular doctor should be for annual physicals. I have a diabetic doctor. I am type 2. So I have a diabetic doctor. I have a cardiovascular doctor. I have a foot doctor. I just recently came from my eye doctor to test my eyes out. Yes, the blood pressure or any bleeding in my eyes. The body's amazing. So I have a diabetic doctor, I have a cardiovascular doctor, I have a foot doctor, I have an eye doctor. I go to the dentist 3 times a year. And prior to that, I was going a lot before I had diabetes. But now it's mandatory I go 3 times a year. That's important. And the main thing in my life that everyone has stress, but I'm in control of my space and my environment. I don't let everyone in my house. I'm not talking about not only my physical house, but my mind. I choose who comes in my space. I choose who have access to me. As a man, I don't involve myself in he say, she say business. My name is never caught up into any gossip or BS because I've always been this way. I've always kept to myself. I don't get involved with the BS. So my life is quiet. That's why I'm able to move. That's why I'm able to think. That's why I'm able to execute. So I advise each and every one of you men out there to go look after your health. Do your prostate exam. That's important. Do a colonoscopy. A lot of you men out here you have health insurance, but you're not going to the doctor regularly. Your woman is not supposed to be the one making the doctor appointments for you. You're supposed to be the one that looking after yourself. For all you women that's doing that, you're crippling these men. These men are not your son. These are supposed to be men. And if they love themselves, then they're gonna love themselves to be around for their family to enjoy them. So that's why it's important that you, as men, you go to the doctor. You don't go to the doctor when you have a problem. You should be going to the doctor, one, knowing how to articulate or speak on your behalf when you're speaking to a doctor. There's no excuse nowadays with Google search engine and AI. You can look up stuff. The object is not to. The object is, you hear me say that. Well, I don't trust doctors. Whatever you don't trust is because you don't trust yourself. Are they bad doctors? Yes, they are. Are they good doctors? Yes, they are. You just have to what? Have the mindset to put yourself in position to go out there and get the doctor that fits your needs after you know what you want as a man, as a person. As a man or woman, you know what you want. So you women out there also, it's very important that you go to the doctor regularly. When you get a certain age, 40 years old, you should be knowing how to check your breasts. You should be teaching your daughters about what to look for if there's any lumps in the breast. So as a man, I can't really speak on that, but as a man, I'm saying that what's important is your health. I'm not talking about being a fanatic. A lot of you, some people are fanatic when it comes to health. No, I'm talking about even kill, balance. You got to have balance in life. You have to balance knowledge with common sense. Where there's no knowledge, there's no common sense. Where there's knowledge, there has to be common sense to balance out everything. So I say to you, go check your health. And if you have time, go to the gym. Don't go to the gym because your woman is telling you to go to the gym. No. Don't go to the gym because you figure, well, this is what women like in men. No. You're going to the gym for yourself. That's for both you men and women. Going to the gym for yourself. And then when you go there, I would advise nowadays, we didn't have YouTube. There was no social media. There was no videos when I did it back in the late 80s. Now with YouTube, you can watch a video on how to train. I'm going to give you an example. You can watch a YouTube video on what exercise to do for the chest, the shoulders, the biceps, forearms, your lat, your stomach, your leg, the front part, squats, leg press, calf raises, working out your back. So you can watch videos that's going to teach you and help you and show you what exercise that you can do. And a lot of you, when you go to the gym, put that cell phone away. A lot of you men, a lot of you people, you got the cell phone. Put the cell phone. When I was coming along, we didn't do all that. I went on changed my clothes, got into my workout attire, and I went and busted out and got it done. And at that time, I was at the gym for like 2 to 3 hours. I didn't have no kids. I had no responsibilities. But nowadays, people in the gym put that cell phone away in the locker. Another thing is, why are you carrying your bag everywhere you go? Your bag and cell phone should be in the locker. You should be there talking about, hey, did you watch the Eagles or did you watch the Knicks? No, you're not there to socialize. You're there to exercise. Handle your business. Because I'm all about business when I go to the gym. You might say I look mean or whatever. I've always been this way. Going back to Fifth Avenue Gym, I had no time to talk. And the results showed, like it showed now. So that's what I want to talk about as far as your health. And the other part about it is, if you have diabetes, and let's say you have a partner, you two have to come to an understanding that there's certain things that he or she is not going to be able to eat. Right? You might have to cook separate meals. And sometimes when your partner has diabetes, I'm not saying doing it for them, that's a wake-up call that you pretty much change your lifestyle. Not for them, but for you. And once you do it for you, now you're able to understand how to communicate and how to work together as far as what you eat and how you're going to approach life now from this perspective of what you have. you still have obligations and goals in mind, and that should never stop. As I said, I wish each and every one of you health, happiness, prosperity, and success, and the abundance of all things. So, for you men, go to the doctor. Not when you're in pain, but go to the doctor regularly. Check your prostate. Get a colonoscopy. Um, and one thing that a lot of black men is high blood pressure or low blood pressure. Um, some of you are anemic. Some of you men out there have mental issues. I'm not saying going to a doctor. Go to a therapist. There's nothing wrong with going to a therapist. A lot of you men are going through stress at home. Your wife don't respect you. Your woman don't respect you. Your children don't respect you. You're working 2 or 3 jobs, yet come home to a woman who don't appreciate you. You're working so hard to provide. I always say this: a lot of you men operate from a space of crisis. You only respond or act on a crisis because you lack the very skill. Every man is not a provider. Every man is not a leader. Provider comes with skills and leadership. Every man is not a leader. So every man try to fulfill that very thing, and they always want to come up short. A lot of men try to live up to not their own expectations, but women in the world. If you don't understand you, then how can you define yourself to another person or to the world? You have to you have to be able to define who you are as a man. What's your identity as a man? How many of you men out there are reading books or have ever read a book? How many of you men can talk? How many of you men, not only can you make money, but can you create money? Can you come up with ideas? Can you give instructions that can lead to someone being elevated? Can you talk to your woman and teach her about credit and how credit works? Can you expound on things other than sports? Can you expound on world news? Can you expound on somewhat politics? Can you expound on stocks and bonds? See, I will always get offended when I'm in a conversation with another man, not because he's black, but even he's white, and he wants to talk about sports. I don't want to talk about sports. My mind is vast. My mind is like a library. What happens when you go into the library? There's different subjects. There's different things that you can take from the library. I'm like a fountain. Come drink of me. I'm here to quench your thirst. So it's important you as a man, you must identify who you are. So when you step into any situation, you know how to move. That's why I liken myself to the tiger, who I say is the king of the jungle. He's the biggest cat of them all. He's bigger than the lion. So when the tiger go kill, the lion go killing the wolf pack. It's really the female lion who's really the aggressor. But the lion itself travel alone, and it always adapt to its surroundings, and it marks out its territory. So I like to move in a military mind, yet with wisdom, not understanding. And there's a scripture that said, "Why is a serpent harmless to what? Slide and go through anything." Harmless as a dog mean I'm able to blend in, yet you not knowing what my true intentions are, because my thoughts are kept to myself. So I'm always moving. I'm always moving, sometimes in silence. And sometimes the wisest man is the man that keeps his mouth closed sometimes. And knowing when to speak, how to speak, and knowing how to adapt. That's why my mentor in the first book I read was Malcolm X, written by Alex Haley. And when I saw Malcolm represent manhood to me, what a man should be like, how a man should carry himself, just like how my father was. So when I saw these things, boom, this is how I should move. This is how I'm supposed to think. I'm supposed to obtain knowledge. That's why I say what? Life is a classroom. We all must pay tuition. We all must pay tuition. So there's a cost for ignorance. There's a cost for knowledge. So you should always obtain knowledge, because everything in life has a lesson to it. There are some that learn the lesson, and there are some that become the lesson. So that's why it's important that you learn and keep striving and keep on doing what you're supposed to do. And that's the most important thing. So as I start to move and talk about different subjects, I came on about around August because my dad passed away August 17th, which was that Saturday. And I came on to thank everybody on Facebook for their condolence, their prayers to me and the family at the time. And then I talked about after that financial planning when it comes to death. And I'm going to go more into that on a later day. I'm going to redo that, go over that video, and I want to have that conversation resurface again. And I like to invite a lot of you to come in to chat with me. I'd like to invite a lot of you to come in and leave your opinions. And I'd like a lot of you to share this video with not only friends or family, but share this video. Talk about this video. Have this conversation at your dinner table. A lot of you that's in the house, a lot of you that's married, or you live with your woman, what do you talk about? What do you talk about at the dinner table? Do you talk at the dinner table? When you're at the dinner table, are you on your cell phone while you're at the dinner table? What are you engaging in? Besides, what are you talking about? Is your conversation with substance? Besides complaining and arguing, what are you two talking about? What are you two feeding each other? What do you feed each other? What are you giving to each other? What are you receiving from each other? What are you talking about? Are you talking about things that's going to elevate each both of you? Or are you talking about things that's going to keep you where you at down? Do you have plans? Do you have goals as an individual and as a couple? See, a lot of you make your planning and your goals about your partner. You never make any plan or goals about yourself to elevate yourself, because your woman can leave any day. Because I know your woman can leave any day. Because women are governed off their emotions. Your woman can walk in the house and say, listen, you know what? I don't want to do this no more. But you as a man, do you have the heart to let her go? You as the woman, you have to also work on yourself. If you have plans and goals, don't stop them for anybody. If any man can't accept you for your plans and goals, then that's not the right man for you. A lot of you men out here, you living your life and your existence is based off of your woman, not yourself. Your woman is your woman, not your mother. See, mama gonna love you unconditionally. Your woman is gonna love you with conditions. Mama gonna put up with the things because she love you. Your woman ain't gonna put up with the things that your mother will. A lot of you men are confused that. You should never be looking for a woman like your mother, because your woman is not your mother. Your woman didn't have you. She didn't give birth to you. She didn't wipe your behind. She didn't change your diapers. Your mama, especially if she's a good woman, she is going to love you unconditionally. She's going to share you. A lot of you have to know, listen, mama gave her life for you. She gave her life. She gave her life for you. you can never repay her back. Right. So that's why it's important that you get yourself together. You get yourself together and you start to basically incorporate things that's going to elevate your life, that's going to take you to the next level. But like I said, I will be having more videos. I'll be doing more podcasting. The name of this show tonight was called Fitness and Health. I talked about working out. And if you want to talk about working out more, we can talk about that. Please come join me. You're always welcome to come over here to engage into a conversation. Leave a message in the chat. And we gotta have this communication. We have to talk and talk about health. I'm a diabetic type 2. I have a diabetic doctor. I have a cardiovascular doctor. I have an eye doctor. I have a foot doctor. And these are called specialists that I have. My primary doctor I don't really go to anymore. But your primary doctor where you go get an annual physical. I have my prostate checked, all that. Colonoscopy. Time for me to do that again. Because I had an operation in 2013 when they took part of my colon out. But you should do a colonoscopy. Let them go up and examine your colon. Sometimes you can have polyps to make sure there's no cancer or any tumors up there. And then when you get a certain age, like I say 40, 50 years old, remember your body change. I remember I'm 54. Man, I could run through a brick wall. Now, the sight of that wall gives me pain. I fall now. Take me longer to get up. And when I do get up, maybe the next day or two, I got a pain. When I was young, what? And I scrape my knee up, put a Band-Aid on, or put a Band-Aid or ace bandage on it, twist my ankle, and I'm back outside next 5 minutes running around like it ain't nothing. Because now I'm living off of my adrenaline is high. But as I got older now, the body's different now. Yeah, the body is way different. Now when it gets cold, my joints ache. Yeah, my neck sometimes. My back. I told you I have slight arthritis. The muscle joints, my legs. You know, I work my legs out a lot. I feel my muscles in my legs. So that's life, you know. But I'm glad I'm not harming my body with drugs. I smoke weed every once in a while, and I drink once in a while. Beer, liquor. I enjoy doing them things once in a while. But other than that, there's no fentanyl or crack going, none of that stuff in me. As I said, I live my life peacefully, and I choose who I bring. I'm in control of my life, who I bring in to my life, and everyone don't have access to me, and I like it that way. You know, so I want to say good night to everybody. Watch as well as pray. Watch what's going on. Never stop striving to be what you want to be. Sometimes the people in your life, you have to let them go. They're the ones that's holding you back because you're allowing that. Sometimes you take the gift that God gives you and you give it away to everybody else and you never use it for yourself. Learn to use the gift that God gave you, that it will benefit you. And once you get to that place of abundance, you have to have a mindset. A lot of people talk about success, but their life is not equivalent of success. That's why Christ said you should know every tree that bears its fruit. Right, because that fruit is the outcome of the work that you put in or the seed that you plant. That fruit is the outcome of the seed that you plant. We plant many seeds. So for a lot of you out there, it's very important sometimes you have to reevaluate your life. And sometimes the very thing that you love is not loving you the way you deserve to be loved. I'll say it again. A lot of you looking for love. And the very thing that you love is not loving you the way that you deserve to be loved or that you command. So you have to learn to command how you should be loved. And the only way you can command how you should be loved is when you know for yourself what you require in exchange. I say it again. A lot of you have to command it. And if you don't command it from yourself, you can't expect someone else to give it to you. A lot of you hanging on to people that's no good in your life. That's why Christ said, "Who is my father? Who is my mother? Them that do the will." What is the them? Them, the people that's doing the will, which is on the same path you're on. A lot of you sleeping with the enemy. I say it again. A lot of you are sleeping with the enemy. A lot of you mistake love. A lot of you mistake it for love. A lot of you put chaos. A lot of you have chaos. A lot of you going through physical and mental abuse, but you put love on it. I'm here to tell you, forgiveness is not the answer to everything. I say it again. I'm going to speak on that one night, my philosophy. Forgiveness is not the answer to everything. There are certain things that cannot be forgiven that we try so hard to forgive. Forgiveness is not the answer to everything. Forgiveness is not the answer to everything. Forgiveness is not the remedy to everything. Love is not the answer to everything. And there's no such thing as love conquer all. That's BS. If you go in with that mindset, then you're going to allow yourself to be abused mentally and physically. You say, well, love conquer all. There are things that love cannot solve. There are things that love don't have. Love. There's no space for love in a home where there's dysfunction. There's no space for love when you're being physically and mentally abused. So forgiveness is not the answer to everything. When you take the word forgive and it reverse it around, what did you get for in exchange for the way you've been treated? I want to go into that topic because people like to throw the word love and forgiveness around. Forgive to pretend to forgive, some say to pretend it never happened. But as long as you're human and you have feelings, think about what I say. Forgiveness is not always the remedy. And love, a lot of you put love to everything. I said, well, love is long suffering. No, love ain't long suffering in my world because I'm not going to allow myself to suffer, not for no sake of love. See, I grew out of that a long time ago. Paul said, I spake as a man, I spake as a child, I did as a child, but when I became a man, I had to put away childish things. At my age, 54, hell no. I don't believe in love is long suffering. I don't believe in that. That's foolishness. Get away from me with that. Like I say, forgiveness is not always the remedy to every situation. Every situation, you can't apply forgiveness to it. It all depends on the trauma and the act that's done to you. If you was molested as a child into teenage, how can you forgive? How? Think for a minute. So I want to put that, I'm asking that question. Forgiveness is not always the remedy. Love, a lot of you put love on the wrong things. Call it love. Abuse is not love, but you say it's love. You say love is long suffering. I'm here to tell you that what? I'm not here to suffer for love. You can keep love if that's what it is. But when you're dealing with reality and dealing with life and dealing with life from a real perspective, You understand? Wait a minute. Hold up. Love don't conquer everything. If it did, there wouldn't be no divorce. If love conquered everything, why is divorce? If love conquered everything, why is there domestic violence or spousal violence toward each other? If love conquered everything. Think for a minute when you say things. Love conquer all? Love can conquer hate. Some of the things that we said, we just said them. And now when you sit down and think, that don't make sense. Wait a minute. How can you love everybody? You ain't never met everybody. You don't even love yourself. Hell, you don't love your mama, your daddy, your kids. How are you loving everybody? You haven't been around this whole earth to meet everybody to love them or like them alone. Think for a minute. Think. Let's think for a minute. And I'll say it again. Forgiveness is not always the remedy. Forgiveness is not always the remedy. Well, people say, well, you got to learn to forgive people so you can let know. What I've learned is this, and I've thought about this. My ex-wife said it one time. It's true. She said, when people ask for forgiveness, it ain't for you. It's for themselves. So if you show me who you are, it's only one time with me. Now I have to watch you. So I'm going to look out for your behavior. Another insane saying is the benefit of the doubt. So you going to get someone benefit even though you doubt them? Listen to what you said. You'll get that person the benefits of what you're giving them, even though you doubt that you should be giving them benefits. I was there one time. Yeah. But life taught me a lesson. Life is a classroom. We all must pay tuition. So when I look at life at my age, I look at life from a real perspective. I'm my father's son. He was raw with it. And I used to get upset. I was sensitive. So as I got older and me and him talked one time, I understood that you have to look at life from a real perspective. You can't walk around here based on how you feel the world should be. That's not reality. Everyone don't think and feel the same as you do. If you think that way, you're going to be a victim to life. You're going to be a professional victim. You're going to be a professional victim, unconscious and conscious. Because life knew who we are. Living infinite, forever evolving. What is game? God and man existing. I, my Father, is one. I'm in tune with the God and Goddess. Because there can be no man without the woman, and there can be no woman without the man. All is one. So how can you pray to one and not understand how life is? What's above shall be below. What's above shall be below. Isn't that what the Our Father prayer say? So we're all children of the creation. So I want to go into a lot of things. But as I said before, I asked the question. Forgiveness is not always the remedy. Love does not conquer all. That's foolish sayings. Love is long suffering. Who wants to suffer for the sake of love? Christ didn't want to suffer. If you think about it, from a human perspective, we're all human. We got feelings. Who wants to suffer? People out here suffering from migraines. People out here suffering from chronic pain. Is that what you say? Love is long suffering? What do you mean by that? That don't make sense. That's insane thinking. Forgiveness is not the remedy to everything. If you do, you a fool. If you think that way. Sometimes you got to keep it moving. You gotta learn to. A lot of you don't know how to control your own house, the physical house and your mind. A lot of you don't know how to control your space. A lot of you can't be alone. You have to always invite chaos and confusion in. That's why one thing about me, I don't like to talk on the cell phone in the morning. No, there's nothing for me to talk about in the morning. I don't. How you end your day is how your morning gonna be. How you end your day is how your morning gonna be. If you end your day in chaos, confusion, and arguing, your morning is gonna be messed up. Because all of a sudden now, you can't get out the house. The kids are acting up. The car don't crank up. Now you can't find your wallet. You done lost this and that. Now you get outside, you're in the traffic jam. That's all the energy that you invited in your space. But when you live in peace, not pieces, P-E-A-C-E versus P-I-E-C-E-S. A lot of you are not living in peace. You're living in pieces. A lot of you spouses that you hate. A lot of you don't even like your husband or your wife anymore. But you're living at it for the wrong reason because you have children. So you're bringing misery to each other. A lot of you can't even communicate no more. A lot of you, I'm being real with you, a lot of you are more intimate with your cell phone than your spouse. Your woman can come to the bedroom looking all nice. You on the phone. You on Facebook. You on Instagram. You ain't even looking at her. Vice versa. The wife she in the bed. She on Facebook. She could be hot looking at another man right in front of you, disrespecting you. She not affectionate towards you. You ain't affectionate towards her. You're more affectionate and intimate with your cell phones because you figure you're going to miss something on social media. Your life is dictated by social media. A lot of you on Facebook every day, each and every day, looking for validation. I don't post on Facebook that much. I rarely post. I don't need the world to know what I'm doing, where I'm at. It's none of your business. All right, so I say to each and every one of you, have a good night. Stay strong. Watch, and do inventory on yourself. A lot of you need to do a fall cleaning. I ain't talking about the dirt in your house. I'm talking about the dirt that's in your relatives, the dirt that's around your friends and all that. You got to get rid of some of these people. Sometimes you got to treat family like strangers for them to act like family. That's what Mike Tyson said, but I'm going a little deeper than that. All family ain't good family. I'll say it again. All family ain't good family. All friends ain't good friends. You got to understand, I didn't say cut the family off. All family ain't good family. We got some no good family members. Each day when you have no good family members, but you're trying to love them and seek their validation, their approval. All family ain't good family. That blood thicker, that missed me with that. Blood is thicker than water. That's the most stupidest saying. Sometimes your friends are closer to you than your family. All family ain't good family. All friends ain't good friends. All spouses ain't good spouses. All children ain't good children. If you want to be real about this is a real conversation. So I say, good night. We're going to talk about a lot of things. And I like to expound on things. So I say to everyone, health, happiness, prosperity, success, the abundance of all things. Repeat that. You want health, happiness, prosperity, success, money, love, and the abundance of all things. And start saying, I am rich. I am wealthy. And a lot of you got to learn how to receive. You're always giving and getting nothing back in return, or you're giving because you don't require nothing back in return. That ain't life. That's not life. So I say good night, sleep well, and be well. Take care.